Hello and welcome to the Learning Consultant channel. Let's talk today about leaders and where they come from. The first thing I propose to discuss is the term common man. The world wouldn't continue without the common man because common men do the work. You can't get anything done without basic agreement from the common man or the people on the streets. A leader has to be out there on the street talking to people to get anything done. People who are still alive get the work done. Now, the word man can mean anyone who thinks or anyone who solves problems. Okay, the word common means indispensable. If you want things to continue to work, well, common people are indispensable. Now, our next thing to cover are the combined words grassroots, which means source of power. Leadership really starts at the grass level on the streets. The street is where it's decided whether the work is going to get done or not. Sometimes you will see evil individuals come along in a country, like J. Edgar Hoover in the United States, and be dedicated to the sole purpose of removing grassroots leaders and then producing riots and closed factories in a country instead of work. We've seen grassroots leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, etc., removed from contact and easy access to the men and women on the streets. Now, this may be a good place to give more than a few meanings of the word leader. One meaning of the word leader is someone who cares about other people's problems more than their own problems. An extreme example of this would be the first firefighters and other workers at the Chernobyl disaster, or similar workers at the Fukushima disaster. All right, moving on. Another meaning of leader is someone who keeps people on a path. An example of this could be Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz story. And the word path would mean a set motion in a mental and/or spiritual direction. Dorothy was going to get some answers, and it was going to be beneficial to people. Okay. A leader also keeps people from being wasted. An example of this would be a leader that stops drugs coming into a country. The country of Singapore had a leader like that. Okay, next meaning of leader is someone other people will follow. An example of this might be President John Kennedy. People went to the moon because he asked them to, and people still volunteer for his Peace Corps. Next, a leader helps people think for themselves. Buddha could be such a leader that civilized half the world without gruesome violence. There must have been some basic, pure thinking going on. All right, next. A leader keeps going and persists even if society tries to stop them. Nikola Tesla might be an example for this kind of leadership. Next meaning of leader, a leader communicates well and can show the way to a better future or an exciting life in the near future. Possibly Benjamin Franklin could be an example of this. Okay, another example of what a leader is. A leader also gets overburdened people a rest until they recover. An example of this could possibly be President Jimmy Carter, when he forgave Vietnam War draft refusers and said that they could come home from Canada and other places. Okay, last meaning of leader for now. A leader is the first one through a fire or trouble. An example of this could be the Marines. When something absolutely positively needs to be done, it's usually the Marines that go first or get there first. Now, if grassroots is the source of power, then let's discuss the words source and power. Source means to direct, and direct means like a king. It turns out that it's the people in the streets that ultimately decide what a king can or cannot do. Looking at the histories of English kings, it's funny how kings had no real problem thinking that they were going to abuse lords and castle owners, but were rather careful to not cross too many street sweepers or candle makers. Some kings were run right down to the beaches and out of the country. Now, the word power, let's look at what that word basically means. Power means the ability to get something done with a phone call or a pen. Power means you can get something done, to finish, or to complete something. Well, it's been good presenting you with these ideas. I'm going to end this video, and I look forward to consulting with you again soon.